Caitlin Clark's rise has put tremendous pressure on the WNBA Players Association. And are the WNBA agents at their right challenging the CBA communication? You know, you look at it, and what is the biggest threat to the WNBA future? Is it the owners? Is it internally the players? Ever since Caitlin arrived, everything has completely shifted the economic gravity of the WNBA. No doubt the ratings are up, attendance has been exploding, and obviously the CBA is going to take a little away. And media attention, I mean, it's been at all-time highs, so everything about the WNBA has moved. But behind the scenes, now with the WNBA agents who have petitioned against the WNBA Players Union, is prepared to negotiate the most important collective bargaining agreement in WNBA history. And has a lot of pressure been put on the union? Yes, 100%. Is it dangerous doing it in public opinion? Yes. And when you break it down, we have to just look at it and look at it correctly, because it all comes down to now is the economics of the WNBA. Obviously, the success in 224, record-breaking TV ratings. I mean, the WNBA was able to pick up additional more sellout arenas on the road, merchandise spikes, corporate sponsorships just taken off. And really, the WNBA has become a national debate now as to more individuals are watching and talking about the WNBA. Is that leverage? Absolutely. The WNBA is approaching, again, it's going to have media rights that it's going to be expanding into, and expansion teams, which we've seen has risen as high as $325 million. Valuations are still going to be climbing, but again, the CBA is mission critical. Now, for the first time, do the players have a legitimate argument that the league is growing and accelerating? Yes, they do. Do they want a larger share? Yes, they do. Do they want to share that it's impossible to achieve that? Well, in this CBA, they're looking at that as mission critical, but the number has become somewhat astronomical. And why does the CBA matter right now as you make the transition? Because the WNBA is not a full-blown league, so you've got to take that in consideration as well. But again, as Money Mike has said time and time again, not a fan of salary cap. And then you've got maximum contracts you're trying to reach. You're juggling revenue sharing percentages. And obviously, free agents is chaotic. And that's going to be a challenge because you got free agency, you got draft, you got expansion draft, you got to worry about players' safety, you got to worry about player housing. You got a lot of players are going to be moving around in the WNBA. Now, this may be where player housing is going to be mission critical because you have a lot of new players going into new states, new cities that they've never been. And really, historically, WNBA players have fought through the tough times. There's no doubt about it. And is this a big moment? Yes. The money conversation, is it louder than it's ever been in the past? Yes. And some agents believe it's time to negotiate aggressively, but at the same time, let's not make it the end-all, be-all, and let's not become in a state of delusionalness, right? So the agents, and, you know, Caitlin Clark is with Excel Sports, but the agents are bringing it up, and you got Jada Lee that's with Clutch Sports. So, and they're bringing questions, and the agents are really saying, look, guys, are we being real? And they're questioning whether the union leadership has put an urgency on this. And are they leveraging their strategy? Is there a transparency with the players they're questioning? And then the economic aggressiveness of the CBA deal itself. Where do they want to pencil that? That is a true question. And I want to answer that for you here in just a sec. Now, some believe the WNBA players must push for the highest deal possible, which means bidding a larger revenue share. Money Mike shared, you're looking, especially with the media rights revenue that's going to be approaching soon, you're looking at over $185 million. That is the deficit, is the gap between the two parties. And how do you get back to getting back to the game that has been exploding, that's had popularity? And others are worrying that the union may be too measured, too conservative at a time that demands just boldness. What does that mean? Should the union have walked out by now? Should they have actually taken a step? Because the union is actually negotiating with itself. Right? So you got to take that in consideration, meaning they were at 30%. They didn't get a response. They went down to 27.5. The union hasn't got a response. So they went down now to 26. The conversation during the labor negotiations has really become a question of momentum. And then everybody's been wanting to talk about the money, right? How much of the league's new revenue should go to the players? Because at the same time, it has been brought to the attention that Clark has brought in a lot of new fans, which means new revenue. Where did that money go? Should it go to the owners or should it go to the players? If ratings continue to climb, if sponsorship deals continue to keep getting bigger, if expansion fees continue to rise, what is the league going to do as it continues as a salary cap controlling the entire league? Players argue that the market value has changed, but the owners are countering that, and the league is still not at full profitability across all teams, and growth requires capital reinvestment. This is where the owner's position is, and long-term sustainability matters more than the short-term spike. So in actuality, the owners are saying that even though we have Clark that's coming to the Women's National Basketball Association, that still may be consideration to be looked at as a short-term spike. This becomes a classic in a normal labor debate because of what the union or the Players Association believes it's an entire league and not just Clark. So what do you got? You have growth versus do I take money out of the business, cash out, and that's where the union must be unified. What are the negotiations? Everyone must understand they rely heavily on leverage perception. If owners senses there's a fragmentation within the players union, with the players, if the players are divided, that's an advantage for the owners, and that's why Adam Silver has brought it to the owners' attention. And what did he say? I'm going to give you until March the 10th, and after that, that's the end. We're going to be in a destruction mode, damage control. We potentially may not have a season. And now, Clark and her agents, which is XL Sports, the number one thing that happened there, folks, is Caitlin says we have to play. We have to play. And that's where Caitlin's agent is leveraging that against the players union and applying pressure with the agents to the union and say, guys, we still have to play. And it could increase your leverage, but now you're not walking out, so now it's like you're negotiating against yourself. Where does this all lead? Could this lead to a lockout? Yeah, it could. Could it lead to a strike? 100%. Why? Because everything's moving too rapidly, too fast, and it's not giving enough time to make the quality control decisions that a league needs to make. But historically, you got a league that's moving at a turbulence of a turbo pace. When revenue is spiked, media deals are rising rapidly. Star power from college, NCAA is coming in the league. It's going to bring in more shift in your economics. And players want more structure because they're coming out of an NIL brand in the NCAA division to whereas they're moving into the Women's National Basketball Association, the WNBA, they're taking claim of the player's name, image, and rights, which means they are saying we want 85%, we'll give you 15% of the name, image, and likeness. And it doesn't sound familiar, nobody has seen that, but it's a transformation as to where this will all end and what is the bigger picture. The moment is bigger than one player. What does that mean? The entire league is structured to say it's bigger than Clark. But Clark symbolizes a shift. The league's audience is expanding. The business conversations now are happening about the WNBA. The national spotlight is here. Now, what do we do as a players union or the WNBA Players Association? It's an historical moment, but it also brings historical pressure. If they miscalculate on this, it can cost you for the next 30 years. Momentum can stall. Agents are questioning, are the Players Association being delusional, is what the agents are saying. And they want it to be where we need to be involved in this, and also are willing to sign a non-disclosure agreement. Folks, this has never been done in history, that everyone says that maybe, I have never seen it, but agents are getting their hand on this. And when you look at this, here's what you got, folks. And I'll bring it home to you. Is this healthy for the WNBA and healthy for the internal accountability of the WNBA? I'd probably say no. Is it a beginning of a dangerous division that can happen? Yes. Is a union prepared for the next growth of the WNBA and the Caitlin Clark era? That's going to be a question, because you need infrastructure. Will this moment define the women's sports history? It will be one of the greatest moments in women's sports history. And you guys leave your thoughts and comments. This is the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Podcast. Do the WNBA players need to be more aggressive and walk out? Or should it be more unified, sign the deal, and move forward as the agents would like to see? Or what is going to be the future of the women's basketball, high school, college, and now professional? We thank you for joining. Please keep in mind, this is the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Podcast. All things are possible to those who believe. We'll see you soon.